LA was dope, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, saw a lot of cool things. I only got to explore like half the city though.
I bet you felt like you were like in a real life Grand Theft Auto
Oh, dude,
simulation.
so many times.
Yeah.
So many times. I was like, I know that. I saw like the car wash and stuff. I was like, fuck yeah, that's so cool, man.
I could punch that guy, take his money, kick him in the face.
Don't do that.
You know?
Don't do that. There's a few like homeless people that were awkward at times.
Were there? I don't recall any homeless people in Grand Theft Auto.
That's a good point.
You ever thought about that?
That's a good point.
You know, that's the one thing that's missing in Grand Theft Auto. Is the homeless.
Well, they probably didn't want you beating up homeless people. But then you can beat up hookers. So what's the difference?
Yeah, I know, right?
You
And
know?
then when it was like, is there Skid Row in?
Yeah.
I think there is.
But I didn't see that part of the city. Like that
what
was
they
all
need
down.
to do is an update and then have Tent City on Skid Row, because like I think at this point, like everybody knows Skid Row right now is just a tent city. Like,
Right,
it's so
absolutely.
bad that when you go down, like what was it? Because you hear on the news where there's people taking shit in the middle of the street, or I mean, are they doing it? Because I know in San Francisco, like because when I visited, like what was it? I think a few months back for that was work related. I know there was like I saw a couple of folks like shooting up in public. Yeah. And everybody were just walking by like it's like, man.
I saw that last time
normal.
I was in New Orleans. I didn't see that on this trip though. But like I said, I didn't see the bad part of LA. I was mostly Hollywood area.
Okay,
is
so
about
more
where we were.
the touristy area.
Yeah,
and
more the old, like Sunset. We spent a lot of time on Sunset. Went to the Rainbow Room, which is apparently like a pretty famous
Rainbow
bar.
Room.
Yeah, I saw around Jeremy there, so that was funny. A friend of mine told him I might see him there. And then we went and we didn't see him. And as we were leaving, Ron Jeremy was walking in, and he was like, "Ha ha! I told you."
Was he just open about, or was there like a special occasion?
That's like his favorite bar apparently.
Oh, okay. So he's he's a regular.
Yeah, he's a regular there, and he was like, "You might see him, you might not." And then we actually did see him.
That would be kind of cool to have like Ron Jeremy as a cameo in Grand Theft Auto 5.
That would be funny.
You know, and then
that
be
would
able
be
to
really
punch
funny.
him just cause.
Yeah, just cause. Yeah.
I think you'd like that. Yeah, why don't they do an update, like a special appearance, like in Grand? Because are they still servicing?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
the
even
game's still expensive. Like I think we bought it for like $30-$40.
That's not like bad. It's better than the full-on 60.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, like you don't.
But it's like, how old is it now?
Well, by now it's all patched up where you can't get the $1 million shortcut.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're kind of shafted right there. Because I remember I went back and playing it and then see if I could, recycle through the stock exchange, and there's like this little shortcut where you can like rack up if you do the campaign, if you execute the campaign right, where the CEO of some company gets shot in the face. God, it's been so long, but you put your money here in some stock, and then when he gets shot, like I guess the competitor like stock.
I remember that.
Yeah, there's a little trick to it where you can just.
Yeah, but I didn't understand it. Like I felt like they were setting you up to do that, but only if you were like really paying attention. And
unfortunately, you had to pay attention.
Yeah, I just didn't understand it. I was like, I guess.
There's little minute details. You had to whip out your phone and like go to the stock exchange and like buy a certain amount, or try to dump everything you have. I mean, probably all the more important to rob as many people prior before you get to that section of the campaign.
Yep.
Not that I'm encouraging you to like willy-nilly go out there and rob.
No, absolutely,
people,
you have to. Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
It's a necessary evil. You have to.
Absolutely. Do you remember that game Postal?
Why does that game sound so familiar?
It's older, but it was like, to me, it was like the precursor to the fucked up shit you could do at Grand Theft Auto. It was just all about doing fucked up shit.
The game sounds so oddly familiar. I have to go back and revisit.
You could like pee on people and stuff, and like set their bodies on fire and then pee on them, shit like that. It was just.
Sounds like it sounds like that game needs to be a VR.
That's a good idea.
Because there's that I think you have it where you can actually beat up people in a bar.
Yeah, it's called. I think it's called Bar Fight Simulator or something like that.
Yeah, so maybe Postal Simulator or just Postal VR. I don't know. It just sounds like something you would do.
I smell a revival.
Oh, well, why don't you do a remake?
Well, I mean, you'd need permission and stuff, I'm sure.
I'm sure like the game developers, because it's an indie game developer, isn't it?
I don't know. It was a pretty popular game 15 years ago. I mean, I don't know.
Well, remakes.
Something to look up.
Well, I mean, if Nintendo continuously rehashes their titles, then what's the big deal? If you, I mean, I don't know. What was the popularity? Was it more of a cult following?
More of, yeah, because it's not very mainstream. Because you can't, like, how are you gonna sell that? How do you market that? You know what I mean?
The way Grand Theft Auto was marketed always through social media, and where you can post up anything offensive unless some SJW comes along and tweets about it, and then today's journalism picks it up and goes on a rant, and it's like, hey, free marketing for you. There you go. And then because those guys will go after it, like
absolutely,
we'll be more than happy to shell out their
dollars. See, I don't think a game like Postal could exist today. I think there'd be too much backlash. Like,
you think so?
I think so, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Controversy isn't always necessarily a bad thing if done right.
Yeah.
It's like Gary Vaynerchuk said. It's all about the execution.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, come on. Like, think about it. Like during your along your film career, I'm sure you've ran into where somebody pitched an idea where you thought it was terrible, but
absolutely.
But in execution turned out to be a great idea.
Yep.
And then vice versa. I'm sure you've experienced something like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would assume it would be no different than this.
Well, why don't you try it, Chow?
Well, build the game. I'll help you along with it.
Okay.
Mechanics, design, feedback.
We can't call it Postal though. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to call it something else.
Do you think the game developer is still in existence?
I
said it was
know.
15 years ago, right?
Yeah, we'll have to Google that. That's what we're gonna have to do. We have to do our research.
So we'll do a little follow up on it. Like,
absolutely.
Let us know.
I will literally make that game.
Hey, when I do like a little BTS behind the scenes with you, like a little documentary, I think you deserve a little documentary with all the hard work you've done.
I think that'd be fun. The question is, how wrong should you want to go with it? Like in that game, you would pee on people, but you wouldn't like. It would be like blurred out and stuff. So like in VR, would you have to literally pull out your?
You have to do the motions where
like,
you're
exactly.
holding the thing. You actually have to come down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hold a button.
Like how far do you want to go with it? You know what I'm saying?
Go all the way.
Yeah, all right.
Fuck it.
All right.
I mean, come on. Like Grand Theft Auto, like ran into a lot of controversy, especially in the beginning. You remember when it was like, vaguely remember, was it on Super Nintendo? I think it was. Where it's just bird's eye view.
I played it on PC, but I'm sure there was some console version.
Yeah, because and then there was like game backlash, and then I mean, it's just like where they were talking about how you could shoot up random people, beat up people. That game got a lot of backlash, but for some reason it kept selling because everybody had that mindset like, dude, we got to rebel against the man. Like it's like Big Brother trying to tell us what to do. Like,
right.
So I think video games have always been a great platform for that.
Yeah, I think nowadays though it's like it's almost too big of an industry for people to take. So it's gonna have to be indie guys.
Because if anything, like if Anita Sarkeesian came after you, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of support.
It's a good point.
I would bet on it. Because if anything, if you not heard what was going on with what was it that her channel, Feminist Frequency?
No, it sounds terrible though.
It is. It's horrible. I mean, like so. I'm sure that name rings a bell.
No.
Okay, so she's like this big, obviously feminist, and,
right?
In today's not like back then where there was like women fighting for voting rights.
Right. Right.
This is like third or fourth wave feminism, and it's very odd. So it's more about. It seems like it's more about complaining about how women are portrayed in video games, sexualized, objectified, and whatnot. It's like, oh, well, yeah, but the guys are always running around with their short, like and like their shirts off with like, big brawly muscles, and I'm pretty sure the chicks are digging it too. So I don't see the issue here. But even then, you still continually hear about some of her complaints about like. Nitpicking about the small things, how there's not enough women empowerment, and I'm sure these are things that you've heard a dozen times, a million. I mean, I think I've lost count after the first time, and and then you kind of go through the different female protagonists, and one of the big main ones was like, what about Lara Croft from Tomb Raider? Right.
Oh, there's honestly, like a lot of my favorite games, I won't say most, but a lot of my favorite games are all like lead character is a woman who's some badass who does something awesome. Like that. There's a lot of games like that. They're just
there's an image of because Anita paid a visit to BioWare.
Okay.
There's an image of this game developer where he's just kind of like freaking out in the back of the group picture. I think there was a meme that said something along the lines like says, "Please help." He's like,
see, that's what I mean though. It's those kind of people that I don't think would let a game like Postal exist today, because they're just gonna.
Well, they're not gonna do.
They're gonna create this huge mob to come after you. You know what I mean? Just because you did something that was a little bit
If
offensive.
anything, they'll probably
you
try to
know?
dox you, but all the more important
That could totally happen.
you know,
Absolutely.
all the more reasons why you create like multiple separate accounts.
Right.
You know,
right.
just like you just kind of have to torrent yourself a little bit here and get a little creative. I mean,
Well, now that we've published this, it's like,
you know, they're gonna try to find a way to, you know, and if anything, they'll you know, I mean, we've already made ourselves into a public figure, anyways. But well, I can't remember when we first decided to do it. It was just for the sake of doing it, just because it seemed like it was a lot of fun.
absolutely.
Well, it still is fun.
Yeah, no, I like to I have a lot to talk about, Chow. I really do. I have a lot
More
to
like
say.
about like you have a lot to vent about.
I do
Like,
have a lot to vent about.
You know?
That was one of the big reasons I wanted to do this, is because like finally I get to talk, because I'm always the guy in the even you know when I'm making videos like how we shot those music videos this week and stuff, like even though I'm doing a lot, I'm still just the guy in the background who's doing the work. I'm not the guy in front of the camera. I'm never the guy talking. I'm never the guy in the meetings pitching stuff. Like, that's not me. I'm the guy that makes shit. And so I never get to talk, and nobody really asks my opinion. And so it's kind of nice to just, you know.
I'm always listening. I mean,
Well,
never,
you know what I mean. Like for most
God,
of my.
I hope like I mean I hope I've never come off in a way where, you know, you pitch an idea. I mean, I know you get pushback from me, but it's always, you know, it's never a direct no. So
Right.
I want to make sure it's like, I mean,
No, you've always been great, Chow. It's not that. It's just that I never get to be the guy, I guess, in front of the camera. And so it's cool to do this to me, to be able to. I get to be my own character for once.
I still
you know?
feel a little uncomfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah?
It's weird. Like, I mean, but you know, if I have like you or somebody else talking in front of me and just help take my mind off of it, then yeah, I get it, it's easier for me to kind of settle in.
Right.
You know, and obviously, you know, we've been doing this since February, so it's getting better.
It's pretty natural now.
Yeah, and it starts to feel a little bit more natural because I remember Gabe getting in front of the camera. I mean, you saw how nervous he was. I mean, it was just
But
like,
halfway through, he started being chill.
Yeah.
Started making fun of you. Right when he was allowed to make fun of you, that's when he got comfortable, I think.
that it's okay.
So,
It's
yeah.
all right. Like, we're here to support each other and have a good time. Like, look, boys will be boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the good news is with Anita, you know, like her channel's going broke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because what I was saying, you know, get woke, go broke.
Mm-hmm. So true.
You know, and I'm surprised you didn't hear about that until I brought it up.
No, yeah, no, I don't know.
You know,
I mean, I hear about you know some political game stuff, but I try to honestly really avoid it, because at this point it's just toxic. Like it's just ruining video games. Everybody's got to have a political aspect to their video game. It's just
I think it's just great trolling material.
yeah,
I mean, then again, I'm a meme addict. I love
but
memes.
that takes energy. You know,
Not really. Not if you're
for me it
proficient.
does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You need to learn how to streamline your trolling.
Oh, do I?
process.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like like in any job, there's a process to everything. You figure out how to streamline it, you control more efficiently.
You're being ridiculous. You're the efficient troll. That's pretty funny.
You know,
that's good.
You just got to be proficient at it. You know,
Mhm.
it's just like I just think it's a skill set that I encourage you to explore more.
I
of.
don't know if I want to be like the greatest troll of all time. I don't know if that's an aspiration.
Well, you do have
for
a
me.
face that like and you get the beard going on.
What was that?
I don't know. Exactly. There's that face. I wish we had.
What do
another
you mean
camera.
that face?
We have. It's just like it's that face that everybody loves but can't hate.
I don't understand that.
Well, you just have that face. Like, I mean, you're a likable guy.
I don't like the way you're talking to me.
Well, I think okay. I'm just saying, like, in a good way. Like, you know, you could be that. There's like that troll face, and there's that Ian face.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You're saying I have a meme face?
It could.
Like I could be a meme?
Possibly
I don't like it.
in a good way. In a good
We'd
way.
really have to pick that face for a specific reason too.
I'll figure it
Yeah.
out. I'll scrub through all of our archived videos. And
There you
I'm
go.
pretty sure I can
Pick a
find
face.
some- Yeah. You know.
See, but then it's got to be towards the camera
Pick a
too.
frame. Pick a frame. Oh,
Pick a
I'm
frame.
sure there's plenty of times when you actually turn and
There's
look
only a
at
few. I only look at it occasionally. You know, that's another thing that makes this easier is like the camera's over there, so I'm almost never looking at it. We do need over-the-shoulder cameras though, like one here, and one there.
Well,
we do need that.
Eventually, we'll get around to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
hopefully, because I know, like, you know, in the summertime, and I kind of saw. I mean, come on, let's not kid ourselves. When the summertime kicks in, like video work
Mm-hmm.
just starts to, like, everybody wants a goddamn video. I'm like,
Yeah, we
oh.
went through our list today of all the videos we have, and I have no idea how we're gonna do all these. It's just ridiculous. But gotta start somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I mean, you know, we're gonna learn, and as we're, you know, trying to stay alive in and then get through one project after another one in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a bit of a struggle, but at the same token, I definitely still want to continue to stay on top of video games as best as I can. And
Yeah.
with your VR stuff, I'm still excited. I know like it's got to be put on hold.
Yeah, and I was just talking to my wife earlier this week about that. Like, I need to start dedicating more time to it because I'm letting it slip away. If I don't keep doing it,
Maybe it's just a suggestion, but maybe like find like 1 hour of the week,
right,
and
right.
just kind of brush up on it, because man, it's just like video work, man. You don't practice. I mean, you're gonna lose
Exactly. I don't want to go back into the program and be like, what do I do again?
Yeah, I gotta relearn it. Go
Exactly.
back to like YouTube, like basic
Exactly.
tutorial. Like I know I've been through this, and I don't want to have to.
And because I've done that before multiple times. That's why it took me so long to make that game, was because I would literally take 3 or 4 months off of not working
that's too
on
long.
it. I know.
I would say
and then
like
I have
maybe,
to get back into it.
Like at best, three weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And right now
I
it's
don't
already
know.
been over a month since I've worked on my game.
I would still.
And now I'm just kind of like, God, but I'm just so busy right now. It's just like, but you're right. I need to just take some time out of the week and just say, no, I'm working on this today.
Just 1 hour. Just 1 hour, just to kind of like.
Yeah, right.
It. But
yeah.
I mean, even then, I would tell you like 1 hour is probably not enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe just like one session, like a nice 3-4 hour session.
Okay.
At least. Because then you can get a lot done 3-4 hours.
Right.
No,
it was funny because I've been with me kind of like, I wouldn't say kind of shifting into real estate, because I mean, even though it's still part of my portfolio, I mean, I take about 3 to 4 hours on real estate, just one 4 hours out of a week at max.
Yeah.
Just to do that. I mean, and then on top of that, just go back to video editing and a little bit of video games. And then after that, I get a phone call from one of our friends. Hey, you want to come out? I'm like,
going out is the hardest thing for me. It's like I really don't have time for that. Like,
well,
you know what I mean?
It's not really about like you don't have time. It's, do you want to take I'm too busy, or I don't have time, or take it out of the equation. It's a question of like, do you really want to dedicate that kind of time?
Right. Do I want to spend 4 or 5 hours doing that when I could be
doing something else,
working on my video game?
Right.
Yeah.
It's something a little bit more productive, and it's just, I'm so over the nightclubs. I'm so over the lounge. I'm so over the bar scene. Which reminds me, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy hanging out with my friends. But I think I kind of lean more toward like, man, I would rather prefer it be more of a special occasion kind of thing, like maybe a birthday. Yeah, it would be more doable, or say like congratulating somebody in on a like your birthday over at the bar felt really good. It didn't feel forced. Like, hey, we're all coming together, and then maybe a celebration of your accomplishments on Liberty Lanes on a full complete package that you managed to put together. Because I know you're still wanting to put together like more maps.
Yeah. I'm almost done with the second map and added a couple more weapons. I was thinking that I need to go ahead and make a couple more enemies too, and try to get that out like this week or next week or something, just to be like, honestly, just one more map, and like that's it. That's all I want. I just want to, and then the one other thing I want to do besides that is I do want to get Vive support on it, because I don't have Vive support, and that would open up my market. It would double my market basically. Right. So I would like to do that as well, but I don't have a Vive.
Do you? So, oh man, because I know Oculus had already released the the new Quest. Yeah, and I just looked at it and was like, God, it looks beautiful.
I did submit for the Quest. Now, as you know, I got my game on the Rift. I got it approved by Oculus to be on the Oculus Rift. But the Oculus Quest, they want it to be special. Right. They want it to be their own curated games. Like, there's very few games on there. Right. So I did submit for that. I had to submit this whole package to them. And they did deny it, so that sucks.
No way! Are you serious?
Yeah, they denied it pretty quick too. It was like 24 hours.
Is there an appeal process or any reason why they denied your request?
No.
Oh shit! They don't let them in the dark.
They don't communicate like that, and that's what a lot of people were. Even when I got accepted on the Rift, there's a lot of people that aren't, and so they're in the forums bitching because they don't explain to you why at all. They just said sorry, that's it. Man, and there's no way to ask them. There's no way to contact them
or get help.
Yeah, get help.
What can we do to make it better?
Exactly. Like what do you need me to fix? They don't know. None of that. It's just no, sorry. And people don't like that because Because like the Quest, it makes sense because it's basically a closed platform. They have to approve everything that comes through and yada yada yada.
Right,
But
QCing.
but the Rift, it's supposed to be mostly open. Like yes, they curate, but not really. Basically, if your game's decent, you can get it on there. And
Well,
so
how do you quantify decent?
Exactly.
How do you quantify like, oh, that's shit? It's like, look, I get it, the graphics suck, but what about the mechanics, the coding,
right.
the
And they didn't look at any of that for when I submitted for the Quest. It was basically a 3-page explanation of what you're gonna charge and why, how the game works, why would it be special on Quest, why does it need to be on Quest, why isn't it just good on the Rift?
sounds like my first time when I had to submit a request for FAA.
There you go.
You have to like, but FAA makes it a little bit more clear. You still have to be detailed, like what time of the day you plan on flying, how long, altitude, prediction of weather. There's a whole host of things. I mean, once you get into practice of doing it, I mean, it starts to become easier.
Right.
I mean, obviously you have to work with like the officers there because they'll put it back as like, well, and for the most part, I mean, FAA has been pretty decent so far. But then again, I haven't renewed my license since October, so I kind of.
I hear they're lessening up on some rules soon.
They are.
That's gonna be cool.
They are. I think, but because I mean, I kind of lost track of where Congress is at. Unfortunately, you do have to keep track of what Congress is doing. So yeah, it does. And I know you were kind of pushing back on me. It's like we can't be talking about politics. Like, really? I mean, that sounds a little naive. I mean, you have to worry about the SJWs creeping up on our hobbies. You have to worry about, some senator throwing a tantrum about like games are gonna make our kids kill each other or whatever.
That has seemed to me at least to die out since like the early 2000s to mid 2000s probably. That's when that argument was its biggest.
Well,
and it's died down now. People don't really say that too much these days.
No, because it's like beating a dead horse.
Yeah, exactly.
And it irritated me when President Trump came out and was pushing on video games.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, and I just kind of like,
I hate that. Ugh.
Come on.
It's just uneducated people. That's what it is. It's
blatant ignorance.
It's blatant ignorance. That's what it is. That's all it is. If they just understood anything.
And for the record, crime rate had been like overall violence crime rate, and this is according to the FBI statistics. I did read this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been on a sharp decline since the 60s. Even still today, and then I'm sure someone's gonna throw out like mass shootings is like, yeah, but that's media.
Right.
They overhype everything. Otherwise you'd be seeing a different scenario like every day. Otherwise, and that's just my take. That's my conclusion. Hey, if you disagree with me, leave your shit posting comments down below.
No, you're right. I mean, even if you just go back as far as the 90s, like there's been a sharp decrease since the 90s and everywhere, basically. Everywhere in the U.S. anyway.
I'd like to think that video games is kind of like a violent outlet where you can do some harm, but not.
It's safe.
Yeah.
And fun.
If you get killed, you respawn.
Did you? I think you saw when I posted my trailer for my game on Facebook and somebody commented and they said
that irritated the fuck out of me.
They said training the next generation of school shooters.
Yeah, I know.
Like, fuck you, dude. It's a video game. Are you serious?
That lit me up.
Yeah.
I mean, I was ready. I was like, should I troll? Should I not troll?
Right. I just didn't. I think I liked the comment. I just didn't even respond because it's like, whatever, man.
Okay. That's the only thing you need to respond to is like a customer complaint. The only thing I would nail you to the cross for, because I did see a comment in like your Oculus profile, like somebody complaining about like, I guess there's some compatibility issues.
Yes, I did handle that.
Okay, cool. Because I saw that, I was like, man, that's like 3 weeks old, man. You need to.
Oh, I handled that like almost immediately.
Well, I didn't see a response. I was like, Ian, where are you on this?
I told him to email me, and he actually did.
Okay.
So that's how we were communicating past that, and he sent me what the error was, and then I was able to look it up and see what I could do about it. Turns out nothing. So,
really?
Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
Why?
Like at all, because of the version of Unreal Engine that I exported out the project on.
Oh, no.
I think it's specific GeForce cards, like a GTX 1060, I think. and some of those other ones.
Oh, and the updates on the okay, I know what you're talking about. The updates on the Unreal didn't come out till like later.
Till the next generation
Right.
of, because the engine I'm using is actually the older one, because of the
he's running-
plugins I have,
and he's running on a
everything.
newer card.
And he's running on a newer card, and there's nothing I can do. The only thing I could do is to transfer the entire game to the new engine of Unreal Engine. I can't do that. It would break everything, absolutely everything. It would take months and months and months.
You need a team of like net coders of some sort just
Right.
to fix that
Well,
shit,
and
but
see,
it's
that's
just-
what's
just isn't
amazing
practical.
is it's not even like it's a widespread issue. I think Arc did that for a long
so
time.
It's, so it's nobody's like it's okay. So it's virtually out of every developer's hands. Like you
Yeah.
have to wait until Unreal comes out with its own patch.
Yeah,
where you
and
can
it did.
use
It
Okay.
did, but I can't use that, because they didn't patch it. They just made a new version that didn't have the problem.
Really?
So like, I think I'm using version like 16 or something, and they fixed it in version 17. So if you're still on 16,
you're
can't.
kind of fucked. Yeah, you're fucked.
So there's literally nothing I could do. So I explained to the guy, I was like, I'm sorry. At this point, you're gonna have to get your money back. I apologize, man. If there's anything
Well,
else
that's
I can
cool.
do.
I mean, at least you were
I
honest
tried.
about it.
I tried,
You know,
man.
you did your due diligence, and unfortunately, man, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
he said-
it's
he's-
my fault though. It's really, it comes back to, I shouldn't have. I didn't really know what I was doing when I started the project.
But dude, I
So,
mean, it's not like you could have
it comes-
anticipated.
I know.
I mean, it's new.
Yeah.
Mean, so it's not entirely your fault. I mean, you can only hold yourself accountable to a point where, because it's not like you're in direct communication of Unreal with Unreal or Epic Games. Like,
Right.
hey guys, what's going on? Like, you know,
And obviously, I have,
an update or
and I have no
something? What's going
idea.
on?
I tested on both of my computers and it worked fine. So I figured that was good enough because they have completely different hardware. So I was like, okay, it's been tested on an older machine, it's been tested on a newer machine, we're good to go. And then just
Wait,
certain.
what graphics cards are these using?
I think that is a 1060.
Is it a 1060?
Yeah, so it might have been like a 1070 or something. I forget. It was one specific card. They just didn't like.
I'll
it
let you.
pooped out.
I'll let you have access to my computer to where you can double check with 1080s.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, just
That's a good
to
idea.
like, hey, you double check, you checked, you double checked, you triple checked. I just don't have, these new 2080s. Sorry about that.
Standard chow.
I know, God. Another note: Apex Legends season
Yes.
2.
Yeah.
By the time I'm actually pretty excited. I haven't played Apex in a while.
Really? Why?
Well, it's just, summertime's picking up,
Yeah.
more editing work, kind of gets a little hard, and then on top of freelance, real estate, and then doing the podcast, and then stay on top of things, and like even some of my gamer buddies like, Joe, where you been? And it's like, I've been a little busy. I'm sorry. And what was it? Matt, who I used to play Division a lot with, and Destiny when it was actually kind of decent, I guess. I don't know. It still feels like a reskin of like Halo.
Right.
Whatever. They're kind of pushing me to get Division 2. I know there were some big complaints with. I'm really excited about Breakpoint. It feels like a really brand new engine they're using.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I see dust particles, lighting,
Mm-hmm.
all these things that come into play, and then plus vehicles, and I saw like a helicopter gameplay about that, and then it felt like it wasn't like a wobbling helicopter, like it was a nice steady, like helicopter, something. I miss in Battlefield.
Yeah.
I have to go back to play Battlefield 4.
Man, me and Madison were playing Battlefield 4 all weekend.
Felt good, didn't it?
It felt so good. She actually wants to play when you leave. So I told her maybe I'll see how I feel.
Fair
But,
enough. I know you're exhausted.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
know.
exhausted right now.
You're beat and whatnot. Apex Season 2.
Yeah, there's a new character. There's updates to the map, which
Yep.
look awesome.
It's basically like Mother Nature taking over, from what I
Yeah,
gathered.
it looks
or like
so cool.
Yeah, I
That-
just-
you finally get to see those creatures up in person.
Yeah.
Like that's cool.
And then from what I've gathered, there's a scene where that big animal or like dinosaur or whatever just steps on one of the guys.
Yes.
And I forgot he says something, or it was a nice little humor to it. It's like,
Yeah, I like the fact that they're at least going to be somewhat interactive, and now they're adding more of those flying creatures and stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool.
For
I think
a
it's
time,
going to be cool.
For a time being, the media was kind of shitting on it because a lot of people were leaving.
Yeah, but
you know?
yeah.
But then again, like, there's always somebody playing to where there's always activity on the server anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, people were saying that Apex was dying, but that just, to me, that's not true. It lost its initial hype. but
Yeah.
it's still a great game, and there's still a ton of
It
people
doesn't
playing
change
it.
anything. The
It doesn't
mechanics are
change
there, and I mean, people, especially the summertime, people are on vacation anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you can be staying in your living room or your bedroom like 24/7 playing video games anyways. The server's always gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, chill the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah, I know some people did stop playing just because they were getting a little burnt out on it from playing it too much, and so these new changes should bring people back in
Like,
and
refresh it.
refresh it a little bit.
I'm hoping for a new map, like completely new map.
Yeah.
Well, obviously sometime down the line,
Yeah, but they might just do it like Fortnite does and just changes the map every whatever.
saving money.
Yeah,
Well, EA is gonna try to milk that. Shit.
it would be nice to have a completely separate map. It would. I agree with you. Just something completely different. But then people hated that in PUBG.
So Battlefield, whether it be, I mean, let's kind of ignore Battlefield 5 for a moment.
Yeah. We
I
did
want-
play like 20 minutes of that, but then we switched over to Battlefield 4.
But
And,
every time when they drop a DLC with new maps and new weaponries, new vehicles, new access to whatever,
hmm
nobody really complains on the Battlefield game. I mean, obviously it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a battle royale type mode. It's,
Right.
it's always just, your typical conquest, your, God, geez, it's been so long I've played, I can't
Yeah.
remember all the modes, but there's
Yeah,
just
there's a lot of modes.
Yeah, and it's just things just kind of flip and reverse. Nobody really complains about those maps, but I guess Battle Royale, it's a different community, I guess.
I guess, man. I mean, it really does change the. I guess probably the biggest thing is that whatchamacallit, Battlefield. It's like it's a completely different style of gameplay, and so like you can come back, for example, and keep playing over and over, or just try different spots on the map all in one match. Whereas
Right.
Battle Royale, you got one chance. And it's going to take you, however long to get into a new match if you die. So it's like people want the map to be like, the map is really important to those kind of people, For you're right. For Battlefield, it's just kind of like, yeah, I can play a shitty map, whatever. I'm fine when we move on to a good map.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it.
I mean,
you know?
don't get me wrong, those DLCs kind of, I mean, they don't hold up as the original maps do. I guess like
Right.
when people settle into the old maps, they tend to like play the new maps for a while, then shift
And then they
back,
come back.
to the old maps. It's like,
Mhm.
this is what we started with, this is what we want to finish off with. At least that's, I think, where the mindset is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows? I'm kind of curious to see where Apex may take us. I'm probably
Super
going to get
excited.
back on it. I know Madison's been pushing me to get back on the PC.
Got to, man.
Yeah,
That's where it's at.
I know.
And
I
we
know.
three can play together because it's 3-squad
Okay.
thing.
All right. And
You
then-
know?
Yeah. Well, you need to get a Elgato for your
The fuck is an Elgato?
game recorder.
What?
It's a video recorder for your gameplay for the PC.
Why wouldn't you just like? Is it like a piece of hardware?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just use software? Oh, because.
You have to have
You're
the
trying to-
hardware. You have the game capture that shit.
Well, no, I mean, I've recorded
Can
tons
you?
of game footage.
Without it?
Yeah.
Can you just use OBS? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I was under the impression that you still needed that piece of hardware.
No, the only reason I would see to use it is in case like this computer right here,
Mhm.
I can't really run screen capture software at the same time because it makes the game suck because it's an older computer. So,
Okay.
but as long as you have a lot of cores, like you'll be fine.
Okay.
You know,
Just something to
it does take
process
more
it.
processing power. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Well,
if you had that extra hardware, you could bypass that issue.
fair
You know
enough.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, we're gonna have to actually wrap it up right there. We are actually out of time. Guys, want to thank you for checking in with us. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button.
You're getting so good at this.
I
love
know
it.
you love it, right?
I do. I love it. I
You
love
know,
it.
and for more updates, hit that bell icon, and we'll keep you posted on more of our extravaganzas.
I didn't do my finger.
Oh, we'll do your finger. Follow his finger. He likes to finger the air a lot. It's kind of
That way.
awkward. No, slightly up. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Thank
love
you
it.
for letting me do that, child.
Yeah. Whoa.
I wouldn't feel complete without that.
You don't have to do that. Guys, I'm your co-host Chow, checking out,
When I'm Ian, you guys have fun.
and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot. Go ahead, you gonna fart? Just do it.
Can this be my meme face?
It could be. I'm gonna meme it. I'm gonna pick out that frame and just meme it.